Hello, listeners. I'm Paul, your host for the Stories Philippines podcast. Today, we have an intriguing tale sent to us by one of our listeners, so buckle up as we set off on this journey. Our story begins with a young woman named Maria, fondly known as Mari. At the ripe age of 22, she inherited her name from her great-grandmother due to their uncanny resemblance. Mari's story takes us back to when she was just 5 years old. Mari's family was peculiar, not because they possessed special skills or talents, but because their genealogy was a tangled web. Her father was also her mother's father, a result of a forbidden act committed against her mother. This unfortunate incident led to their wealthy family being the subject of scorn and ridicule at school. Mari and her 3 siblings each dealt with this in different ways. The eldest sibling was a rebellious sort, always getting into trouble with the wrong crowd. The middle sibling was quiet and withdrawn, while the youngest was emotionally fragile. Mari, on the other hand, was seen as the oddball of the family. While her siblings were often ill, Mari remained healthy. This made her feel neglected, as her parents' attention was always focused on her sickly siblings. She watched them suffer through every hospital visit and illness, thankful yet terrified at her own good health. Each of Maria's siblings had their own interests and abilities. The eldest loved tinkering with gadgets and aspired to be an IT specialist. The middle siblings excelled in mathematics and pursued careers in accountancy. Maria, though, had a passion for public speaking, poetry, painting, and mosaic art, essentially the creative arts. However, Mari's talents were frowned upon by her parents. They considered them insignificant and believed she'd never succeed in life with such pursuits. Their lack of support felt like a sharp knife, pushing Mari deeper into solitude. In her loneliness, she immersed herself into her imagination. She channeled her thoughts into creating beautiful poems and paintings. While most people wrote and painted about love and heartbreak, Mari's works reflected the issues of the world, her family, or simple contemplations. One day, she woke up to find a friend in her room. This companion was no ordinary human, but a formless shadow. It was always by her side, soothing her with its presence and calming melodies whenever her family caused her pain. However, Mari was not blind to the growing anger within her. She was angry at her parents for not supporting her dreams, for restricting her freedom, and for making her feel like she didn't know herself. In her fury, she blamed them for their isolation from society and their constant bullying at school despite their wealth. She held them responsible for her lack of understanding of love and family. Noticing this rage within Mari, her shadow friend started to distance her from her family. She would wake up in random places like fields, forests, or hills, only to be returned after a few hours. As much as she wanted to take her youngest sibling along, her shadow friend forbade it. In every decision, heartache, sorrow, pain, and melancholy that Mari went through, she knew her shadow friend shared the burden and eased her suffering. However, she feared that by sharing her anger and despair, her shadow friend might become overwhelmed and bring harm to those around them. Listeners, this story teaches us an important lesson. We all have our shadows that we battle within us. It's crucial to learn how to manage our anger and frustrations before they consume us and impact our relationships. Remember, it's okay to reach out and seek help when you're feeling overwhelmed. That's the end of today's story. I'm Paul, your host for the Stories Philippines podcast, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Stay safe and keep the stories coming.